Hi, our company is called Solar Corporation, and our team members include.
I'm Kai, I'm Marketing Vice President.
I'm Sammy, I'm CFO.
And I'm Eric Chu, I'm the Sales and Marketing Director.
I'm Vinny Cardellano, the Director of Operations.
So, for our main objective, we decided to research and compile information on the size and overview of the solar panel market itself, um, to look at the trends in the market to see if new types of solar panels would be produced and see how that affects the industry itself, and the evidence of demand from consumers to see how popular solar panels are in this industry. And then we looked at the factors affecting the productivity and manufacturing of solar panels. Um, and we also looked at the competitors and their activities to see um, the revenues and the different types of competitors in the market. And then lastly, we did an analysis and recommendation on what company to invest in for Sky Blue Sky.
The size and overview. The size of the solar power market is low and hardly any concentration. The average revenue is $409.91 million. Nationally, employment in all areas of the solar industry jumped 6.8% in the last 12 months prior to August. The growth is expected to accelerate by 24%, creating 24,000 positions this coming year, and it is forecasted to rise an annual average rate of 7.6% for a total of $770 million in the next 5 years. To the left, you have a screenshot from IBIS World about the total revenue and where it splits off, and on the bottom left, you have a graph explaining the revenue versus employment growth and the price of semiconductor and electronic components, both from IBIS World.
To further explain how the market is broken down, we included a chart from IBIS World. The solar panel market is broken up into three main components. 30% of the market is industrial users, 36% of the market is utilities, and 34% is the commercial sector, totaling $491.9 million as a whole.
This one we talk about the evidence of demand. So by the solar power is industrial revenue increased by 90% from 2013 to 2014. And also we find IBIS word for the database certainly grows for the solar power is since 2009, and customers are being aware of overuse of fossil fuel. Also, the government is including an energy efficiency. The higher income family and state governments are willing to spend more money to persuade fossil fuel, and the 29 states in United States are required to use alternative engineering sources, but more are planning in the future. So all the most of the information we find is in the IBS Word database, and some of them we find on the ODEL database.
And for trends in the marketplace, we found that there has been extremely high capital cost and competition from established energy sources, which have actually hindered the solar energy generation. Um, and so we also found that there's new technological advances of solar power manufacturing, which is starting to lower costs of production. And lastly, companies like SunPower Corporation are paving a way for the future of this energy resource. And then for this graphic, we have it shows that it's cumulative installed solar photovoltaic power capacity by each year. And so you've noticed that it's been increasing as the years progress. So.
Talk about productivity and manufacturing. Solar power energy is low concentrated as a market as a whole. The U.S. has constantly maintained the position in producing the highest level of output among the countries around the world. in a case study called Eco-Friendly Manufacturing Strategies for Simultaneous Consideration of Material Productivity and Environmental Performances, states that the U.S. now has environmental laws associated with manufacturing industries. Higher technological advances have accounted for a 25% growth in these industries, and some examples include 3D printing and mechanical robots.
All right, so we've made a list of competitors in this industry, and aside from just the solar power industry, there are alternative energy competitors that also have a big impact on the market for solar power. Wind energy, such as wind turbines and windmills, geothermal energy, such as geothermal plants, and hydropower energy, such as water mills and dams relating to hydroelectricity, are all three alternative energy sources that hinder and compete with the solar power industry. Within this industry, companies such as Innovolite Incorporation, Kyocera Solar, First Solar Incorporation, and SunPower Corporation, which is actually our recommended company to invest in, all make up this entire market and are all competing for the highest place in this industry.
So for one of the companies that's competing in the solar panel industry is Innovolite Corporation. It's a private firm, and it's a subsidiary of a company called DuPont de Nemours and Company. Um, but Innovolite itself is based in Sunnyvale, California. It manufactures lighting equipment as a whole. It's accumulated over $6.4 million in sales, and it's a small private firm with only about 40 employees and a little public information. So it was really hard to access and gain financial information for this company. But also, it operates as a manufacturer for agricultural chemicals, organic fibrous nucleus, cyclic crudes, and then plastic materials and resin.
Another company in the solar panel industry is Kyocera Solar. This is a small company based in Arizona, which is actually a subsidiary of Kyocera Corporation, which is based in Japan. This company has very little public information when looking to research its growth over the past years, and figures have been inconsistent over the last 3 years, showing that it is not a very well established company in terms of growth and income.
Our company we want to introduce is named First Solar Incorporation. As you can see, we put some logo and products in the left of the presentation. And First Solar Incorporation is a public company, headquarters in Temple, Arizona. And in the 2012, they sold worth 3.3 billions. Of totally, and they own over 5,000 employees, and the net income has been drastically decreased over the past 3 years, and the product that they most public is the product produces power plants and the AC power plants.
SunPower Corporation is another company that is in the solar power industry. Its headquarters are in San Jose, California. It contains the world's highest efficiency rate of solar-powered cells. It is the most used solar power source in homes and businesses around the world. The company's sales are steadily increasing within the last 3 years. It owns over 200 patents, which shows innovation, and this is a company that we chose to recommend to Sky Blue Sky.
Based off of our findings, we found a lot of great information as far as what company we want to offer to Sky Blue Sky for solar panels, and just research more on the solar panel industry itself. And we found that the competition level is not too high, it's not too low, it's somewhat medium. It is a small industry, and it is low concentrated. The reason why it is a small industry is because the companies for solar panels and solar power is mainly located in Arizona and California, due to the amount of plentiful sunlight in those areas. However, if someone were to invest in this industry and start up a business, there is a lot of room to grow. And also, the demand for solar power is increasing, so that could help someone who's trying to invest and start up a company. As far as SunPower Corporation, it is a great business to invest in because of the sales and how it's been increasing steadily over the past 3 years. Um, it has the most power source in homes used around the world for solar, and it contains the world's highest efficiency rate of these solar powered cells that it creates. Um, and as far as the U.S. As a whole, it's consistently produced the highest amount of output among the countries around the world for solar panels. And that's due to the higher technological advancements that have accounted for this 25% of growth in these industries. And examples might include 3D printing and mechanical robots, like we mentioned in the previous slides. And so based off of all these reasons, we think that SunPower Corporation would be a beneficial option for Sky Blue Sky to invest in. And I hope you enjoy this presentation. Thanks so much.